Stop bonding over gossip. You see, there is something that happens, especially in workplaces and let's say businesses, any place where you find people gathered, even in families, people tend to want to bond over gossip, bond over toxicity, bond over certain things like that. And you will always notice one thing: they will always have somebody that they have singled out to talk about and to say terrible things about. Not because that person is bad, not because that person has wronged them, but because they just want to bond with certain groups. They just want to feel like part of a group. Now, I think sometimes we want to call that peer pressure, but it's not. It is a conscious decision to just be evil. I say it the way it is. So if you are one of those people who always feels the need to bond with others using gossip, I think you should stop. You notice somebody in a place who doesn't really have friends around that area, maybe is new to the system, and he notices that this one person, maybe one or two mother hens around there don't like that person. So because this person wants to feel among the new group that they have found themselves, begin to talk about this other person. And then they bond over their shared and collective hate of that one person. So if you find yourself in that kind of dynamic, I would advise you strongly to remove yourself. Because you see, there is something that gossip does. Gossip, to you, you are trying to destroy the reputation of another person, right? You're trying to make that person uncomfortable so that that person can feel bad, that person can leave the system so that you can grow, so that you're also trying to please, let's say, some toxic people who are around. You want to please them, and also you don't want them to target you, so you try to start gossiping with them about another person. Something very interesting happens in that dynamic. The same things you are saying about that person, you start finding out that you are very uncomfortable in the system that you find yourself. You can't grow. You cannot. Because you feel that if you grow a little bit, you will become the target. So you hold yourself back. You can't progress. You cannot be your authentic self. You cannot express yourself honestly the way you would want to. Because you feel that if you express yourself honestly, you're going to become a target. Because you have joined others to make another person a target. That is what gossip does to you, the person that is involved in the gossip. Of course, there's a lot that it does to the person you're gossiping about. I will address that in another video. There's a lot that it does. It is a very soul-destroying kind of habit. And I noticed that a lot of people do it. Funny enough, I used to think that it was women that were very good at gossip until I happened upon men who gossip worse than women. And I came to realize that women are not even as bad as men when it comes to gossip. Especially when the worst one that comes from men is when they're gossiping about the opposite gender. That's the women. Women gossip about each other a lot. Especially the worst gossip you see with women is when they're gossiping about each other. But for men, they gossip about women a lot. And they can set you up, they can say a lot of trash about you. Especially if the woman is somebody who has exceeded whatever level they have been able to reach, especially in corporate organizations or in workplaces or in teams. When you see that a woman has gone ahead of you, as a man that you are, I have noticed that a lot of men don't take it kindly, and they can start up a rumor, a lie, 100% of a lie, but they spread it among themselves, spread it among anybody who cares to listen. The whole idea is that most times when you say something terrible about the woman, especially a woman who is in a position of leadership, it tends to stick. So they take it, they run with it, and they try to cycle it and cycle it and cycle it. I've actually seen somebody or heard somebody who actually made a comment once. He was in the habit of making other people the targets. So he would come up with a story that wasn't true most of the time. And then he would feed it to others. And then they will have this circle around them. And you, the person being gossiped about in that system, you will just notice that nobody wants to have anything to do with you. Nobody really wants to have any relationship with you. Because this one person has gone around saying things. How did I discover this? One day, he was talking to a friend of his, and I happened to be in the environment, and I was listening to what he was saying. And the young man made a statement that stuck with me for a very long time until today. This thing happened about almost 10 years ago, but it stuck with me because it's a habit that young man continued to take part in. He said something. He said he would come up with, he's having a conversation, and then he says, okay, if that person, they're talking about a third party now, if that person behaves anyhow, that he himself will come up with a story and feed it to the birds. That's exactly the term he used. Just feed it to the birds and let the birds run with it. That day I was surprised. Now, I wasn't surprised that he does that because I knew he did it. I was surprised at the boldness with which this young man was able to communicate a very despicable behavior as if it was something to aspire to. It was shocking to me. So it is a very, very destructive behavior, gossip. Very destructive to the institution, to the team. It does not allow team building. It does not allow growth in the institution. It does not allow friendships to foster. It does not allow any form of growth. Even you, the person gossiping, you will not grow. You will not grow because you will be afraid. It's a subconscious thing. You will be afraid that the same way you have targeted others who have been successful, the same way you have joined others in targeting another person, that you will also become a target. And before you know it, you're wearing mental chains and you're holding yourself back and you're unable to progress as you should. So I hope this tells you, if you are somebody with that dirty habit, please do well to stop having that dirty habit. And it will really, really serve you well if you stop it. It will serve you well if you stop it. It will serve the institution you work with. It will serve the team you work with if you stop that dirty habit. Thank you so much for watching. I'm still on my journey. So please click the thumbs up button to like my video. And also, please do well to subscribe to my channel. And I will see you in my next video.